thought to discuss today something that doesn't really have self-evidently something to do with creativity or art or these kinds of things, but if you don't have your health, it's very difficult to be creative. If you don't have your health, your relationships are suffering, your money is suffering, focus, and just about everything else. So on this beautiful day, I have this lake right next to me, and I came on a forest path after working out at the outside gym a bit. And Anita, my friend, Crypto Granny, at one point was kind of giving me a little bit of grief because I was posting on my Instagram about how I was working out in the winter gym and so forth. But it might not be so self-evident to many that in my industry of creativity, there are some exceptionally fit people, and even from the legacy music space like Iggy Pop and Henry Rollins and others who've always taken really good care of their health. But by and large, my industry is somewhere where people even take pride in destroying their health and drinking, doing drugs to excess, and this type of activity is not really celebrated as much as it maybe is in other places. So one part of me posting about things like this, not only because it's so important to me that I have had a bunch of autoimmune issues ever since I was a kid, and a lot of back problems and all things to do with my stomach for the last 20 years. And despite all that, I've managed to do all that I've done, but sometimes it's been wow man, it's been tough. And sometimes I've quite literally limped on stage, like I did in Serbia. And I could barely hold it together. It was one of the biggest stages that I've ever performed on. And I was in excruciating pain the whole of the 20-minute presentation that I was there. And just trying to do the networking stuff and all that kind of thing. I had this incredible opportunity. I wasn't going to miss it, but just getting on the plane from Dubai to go to the conference I wasn't sure if I was able to do it. And luckily after that, Methylene Blue was something that really helped me. It started fixing my mitochondria, and somehow, I don't yet still understand how, but after the second day of ingesting Methylene Blue, my back problems 85% reduced. Of course, it was combined with different mobility exercises, and most importantly now, and I suppose what is the topic of today, is fasting. Because in these times, and especially artists, they don't have a lot of money most often, and the situations can be quite miserable. So all you need to do for fasting is maybe have some electrolytes and good water. It's about reducing stuff instead of adding anything in. And you can start off lightly, but what happened to me at the beginning of the year, it really was starting to get quite overweight again. The first couple of months from February to March, I ate maybe 3 to 4 times a week. And what helped significantly was to listen to podcasts about fasting, whether it to be from Dr. Berg or Huberman or a plethora of people from the biohacking space and everywhere that helped me understand what it was, how to take care of myself whilst I was doing it. But also, importantly, when the motivation drops, you want to be supported by something that is in your ears, that is telling you all the good things that are going to happen to you because you're doing this thing. And as you're listening to them and you're starting to notice them in your body as well, it keeps you on the right track. And that's been something that has truly been a blessing this whole year. Right now, I'm about 40 hours in, and can be miserable, not gonna lie. I drink water, electrolytes, caffeine-free coffee, some matcha, take some vitamin drink things and whatever, but no calories. And I haven't counted how much weight I've lost, because it's not so much about the weight, it's how good I feel. And changing the nutrition that I put into my body, not as much carbs. Carbs are such a destroyer for me. So delicious and absolutely abysmal for how I feel after. And because of that, all the efforts of doing this, I'm now here walking next to this beautiful lake. And despite my asthma, I'm not even too terribly out of breath. What happened with that as well is that I, after doing a really hardcore beginning of the fasting, I realized that I didn't need my asthma medication anymore, which was, I didn't see that one coming, but I just automatically just sort of stopped. And then this summer, because the July was pretty awful in Finland, we got ill, the whole family, and I had too much pride to get back on the asthma pipe, and I did it a little bit too late, so I suffered quite a bit from that, because I should have started it back earlier, as I had let go of as hardcore of a regime as I was doing with fasting then. But right now I'm eating 2 days, then in the evening I stop, I go 24 hours, and then till the next day about maybe 10 o'clock or even 12 o'clock or something. I think we're pushing about 12 o'clock now. So effectively I'm eating 4 days in a week and not eating 3 days in a way, because the half days count for a full day that go after the 24 hours. And weight is going down, health is much better, energy levels are much better. And yeah, it's a whole thing. There's not one solution, but for me it would have been really, really important. Methylene blue, mobility exercises, exercise in general, and this fasting operation, because I do also notice that I'm not the type of person who wants to count calories all the time and just whatever. So some days I, really enjoy life. I have food, and then the next day I let it go. So that's something that really, I'm more balanced that way. I'm balanced that I, not necessarily to the extremes, but to enjoy life and then have a little bit of restraint. And that works for me much better than trying to do something that is counting calories on the daily. And I suppose to bring it all back together, and how this is about creativity, like I said at the beginning, if you don't have your health, there's not a lot of creativity going on. And another thing, totally off of alcohol, any kind of substances, and that's been quite a wonderful thing, because a lot of the time artists give a hell of a lot of excuses what it's to do with, I just need this for my creativity. And the more sensitive I get to how tuned with my body I am, the more creative I am with my output, with my energy and everything, and I need none of them. I need none of the assistance, so to speak, that used to be a part of the rock and roller's life. And I'm happy that's in my past now. So maybe there was something in it for you. I'm hardly an expert on mobility or nutrition or any of that stuff. Just a guy and an artist navigating through what has been quite a difficult health situation for me. So, that said, hope you have a great day.